everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup.
Well, there is a definite chill in the Northern California air, Coach, but still a wonderful afternoon for football at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
180! Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, man up.
On first down, it's Barry. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We call that a sack block.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long.
I got you, boy.
Brandon Cooks. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
We play to win.
A game of 19 on 3rd and 18, and that'll move the chains. They'll run on first down. Barry. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. If that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for these guys trying to play some defense.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 carries, 51 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. On first down, it's Barry, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. In for the score. And the Rams take it right down and score on the opening drive. This is a crew they've come out flat the last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 15 Lonnie, 15 Lonnie. 52's the mic. So we got man.
Now the Georgia Southern man. It's Matt Breida. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
18 Gators.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable second and 1. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Second and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
70 ending. Hey, come on, now. Come on, now.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here this first quarter.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. Right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him.
What's that? What's that?
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. And Daniels has it over the middle. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. These two teams all tied after 1.
180. We're going to work. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. 54. 1, 2, 3.
They'll run on first down.
Run!
Jamison.
Run and running.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Now a first down throw. Gone. He gets it to Cooks. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. This This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And an alley to run. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, LA. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Rams have taken the lead. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the 1st. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care that it's 3rd and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. A good run there to start the drive. 13 yards, 1st down. 13 yards there and a Niner 1st.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. 18 yards, 1st down Niners. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On 1st down, here's Breida. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
You don't want no problems. You don't want
Call
no
it no
problems.
gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Back to throw. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. 2nd and 6. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense.
That's how we
The
do
Rams
it.
going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore.
Let's go, boy.
But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get them more involved here on this drive, maybe. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Mike, 54. Here we go, G. Switch.
To throw again on second down. Goff. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down. A shotgun snap for Goff. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to control.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run.
I got you, boy.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Lamar Jackson has a touchdown pass. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Patrick Mahomes leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to the desert. Check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. The Cardinals trying to hold on and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at its 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch the backer, watch the backer.
2nd and 9 now. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he's taken down all the way inside the LA 10. A big play there for the Niners. 46 yards. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Albright, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
Let's get it.
At the 4-yard line.
Second and goal from inside the 5.
Check Mike 50.
Watch the run, watch the run.
2nd and 4. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Dante Pettis with a 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And extra point, and it's now 17-14. That time a 6-play drive, and the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Jared Goff, he is the focus of our player spotlight. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Bosa racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now we had 2 more to his total.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Shifts by him. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now in the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And he's got his man on the out route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a 1st down for L.A.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Goff. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 30.
24-yard gain on the play. And the Rams 1st down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
I'm coming.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Goff got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Here we go.
The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another 1st down.
180. Go, go, go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll try to run this one in. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. Here's Goff. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Let's go, baby.
13 yards there and a Niner first. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 35. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. Flushed out right, and he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10. Once again from the 28. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open. Got the shot, and he missed 5.
We talk about boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
The pass on 2nd down. No gain on the play. It's 3rd and 10.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
That's how we do it.
Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about one thing. The only one happy about the 3-point kicker. Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. He can get into football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
The end result, 21 yards. Goff now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. And Daniels has it left side. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
I got him.
Throwing on second down. Goff. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little back yardage.
They did a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
That ties the game.
Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6. At least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Here we go.
Now a give coming right is Breida. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
That's it, baby.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on first and goal. Once again, they run with Breida on first down. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Matt Breida with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. As his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Lutz good on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was Matt Breida who had the touchdown run to put an end to it. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Goff and the Rams down 27-20, a minute 14 to go. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the 4th.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
On first down, Jamison.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And they're trying to line up quickly here. Goff urging them on. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker. Complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a first down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
White 20. Mike's 5-4. Right here, right here. Watch the edge.
Now it's gone. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted.
Watch it.
Picked off at the 20. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And into the end zone, a pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. That's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
Let's go, baby.
Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the 49ers, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for L.A., it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9.
You want to join my long-term franchise? Merrick07 it a 0 by the way. No thank you. Joined my brother on this one.
coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh. Three quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5 quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. And that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
No.
Operating from the gun, Hawkins. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Here's the first carry from Matt Breida, and he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Let's go, boys.
First down San Francisco, the pickup 14 yards. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot, but what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Intentional
Well,
grounding.
let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Now back to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up a big play right there.
And their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run. So look now at our starting defense. They come into this one 9th in the NFL against the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. Him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
27 yards there, a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
Our help, because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys gonna come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
I got you. I got you. Let's go.
2nd and 5. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And it's 3rd and 5.
Chances are good. He's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. No drop to throw. The quick slant caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field. All right, this is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it?
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This fielded at the 2. Now a hit and a loose football.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy. You do. Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better.
Ricky.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 20 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football. That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
Let's go,
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're talking about the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. Teams that play and play to win each and every game.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Devin Bush. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. They'll drop the throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Let's go. 8, read. 52's the mic. Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come. Now.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now.
He's coming. Double up.
They'll try to run with Bruda. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee. And that means 4th down. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try and swing on 4th and across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. It's their quarterback taking it in. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. 4th and goal, and they just tell the leader of this offense to sneak it in there, and he got it done.
Yeah, all you're trying to do is follow the wedge that's created in front of you. Center, guards, tackles. Just get low, fire out, and you get low right behind them and get it over the goal line.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. Remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, A well-deserved seat on the bench. A little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Keep putting that ball on the ground.
So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
60 out
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
But yeah,
Either way,
you got it.
I just went right past it.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines to get out of bounds. Here in the middle of the field, still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
I got you, son.
2nd and 3. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37.
They're going to need some therapy. He's checking. He's 22.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 20-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin with a couple of the classic franchises in the NFL. Washington on the road, taking on Green Bay at Lambeau. And it's the Packers who have the lead in that one. Jacoby Brissett has thrown a touchdown pass. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head down to Chicago to check on the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they trail the visiting Eagles at halftime. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, a touchdown catch in that first half. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. Michael Gallup, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's first and 10, right at the 40. A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it second and 5. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
At the 36-yard line.
He'll look to throw. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 18.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now they try the right side here. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Score! Touchdown, baby.
Matt Breida. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind. Because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Check 52.
On first down, Hawkins. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment.
Holding.
Let's see what our referee says. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And first down, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
55. Hey, eat. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Matt Breida with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a run, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Now a dump off here complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
That's a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Ready.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Get it. Come.
Throwing again. Hawkins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
13 yards there and a Niner first. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by,
Come on,
we would clip this out
70,
and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. This quarterback now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a first down. Here's Breida. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Steelers' 16-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the run.
Back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
They can't stop us, baby.
But no, it takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and forever. He'll set up a throw. He'll rifle. And this is caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. As his guys are in for 6. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about the playoffs will begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
On 1st and 10, Hawkins. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's working well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Hurry.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines.
nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 20-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. DeForest Buckner. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the film, just go. Let's see who's faster.
And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They got it first and goal as they look to punch in a late score. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going in there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one. He might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his word forward and get what he can.
They run with Breida. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move
put this one behind them. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here we go, set, 70, Indy.
54, watch 54. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Let go.
Back to throw. Hawkins to the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down.
Ready.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
You better bring it.
Watch the shift.
From the gun, Hawkins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
This is Breida, and this will be a pickup of 4 here, up to their own 20.
Breida on the carry. He's brought down at the 20-yard line.
90, Wolf.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
Ready up.
52, right 52. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Snap.
And to give this time to the tailback. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for San Francisco, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll
Fuck.
everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats.
Okay, Coach, it is a brisk night in the Midwest as we bring you football from Paul Brown Stadium in the Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Cincinnati Bengals. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll have a former Heisman Trophy winner calling the shots, hailing from the island of Oahu in Hawaii, Marcus Mariota.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an
And
interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Hey, eat. I got him. 36.
Play fake. Mariota. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards right off the bat. And a quick first down. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Mariota now. For Kidder here, it's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
I got him.
Check three.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
On second down, here's Mixon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Right there.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota to Mixon on the check down. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Jerome Baker right there in coverage. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10 once again from the 28. Now it's Breida. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field.
Illegal block in the back.
So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here we go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man.
We play to win.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Gain of 19 yards. First down, 49ers.
Ready. 90, 57 to Mike. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
They'll run for the first time here with Matt Breida. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down second and right at a yard. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here we go. Go to base. Off. Coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Now back to throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Check. Lucky.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise. It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Nick Bosa in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's a give to Mixon. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. These two teams all tied after one.
Championship, baby. Where are they, team?
Mike's by 4.
Hey, watch the ball.
3rd and long here for Mariota. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Black. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah. It's a foot race. The 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis, 87 yards. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. His first career touchdown pass, and, you know, it's cliche to say, but he's probably been envisioning this since he was a little kid. That's a cool moment.
It really is. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, celebrate, save the full reflection for later, but make sure you grab someone on the sidelines and say, hey, make sure I get that football, okay?
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10.
Shift! Watch the shift!
They begin with a run by Mixon. And some room to maneuver. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All day, baby, all day, all day.
From the gun, Mariota. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will find his man on the end route, complete.
An eligible receiver downfield, offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Get ready! Get ready!
It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, that QB's trash. That's
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Now Joe Mixon. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Not today, baby.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Could be some contact.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drives, exactly what you want on offense.
What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You ain't going nowhere. Get it.
Now a handoff looking right. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking. Beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is now 17-3. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Single receiver.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
You. Mark it!
Mariota. Incomplete.
Mariota's pass.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here, because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock, because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And problem spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Let's go,
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
31. A gain of 9 yards. First down, 49ers.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home in U.S. Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting New York Giants. The final, 34-13. And then lastly, we wrap up the week with a good one on Monday Night Football between the New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And he'll take it on past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Check 55 to Mike. Check.
They'll set up the throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. DeForest Buckner, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw is Mariota. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
30 base.
After the incomplete pass here now is 2nd and 10. Breida, he'll try the right side. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 18 yards, 1st down Niners.
Down.
They This quarterback now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
He wasn't ready.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here's a handoff left side to Breida. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Again, it's Mixon. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up, and he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Come on, fellas.
Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. They'll pick up the first. They'll try the jet sweep here. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Right there. 54 Mike.
Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together.
Mariota on first down. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Good boys came out to play. I'm in here, brother. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. There's more coming. There's more where I came from.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mariota. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Bengals on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. To throw Mariota. Coverage there by Von Bell. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Mariota to throw for it on 4th. And it is incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a give to Breida. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
We played to win.
He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
A gain of 12. First down, San Francisco.
Focus, defense, focus.
On play action, they'll throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead. But I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off to the inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Opted to run for it. The decision, a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. They'll look to throw now on first down. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. George Kittle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Mariota now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mariota. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. You know, in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Black. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. From the red zone now, Mariota. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Lutt's good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go!
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Let's get it.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Mariota. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. They're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
54 Mike. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Kill, 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 kill.
First down, Mariota. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
He finds his running back, Mixon. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down.
Switch!
Mariota now from the 50. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. The Bengals bring out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself. But you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right?
I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Niners, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to